My guitar, a lesser towel.
Welcome to the Fiberbound podcast. My name is Ali and I'm coming to you today with a little bit of a different video again. I keep mixing things up. I figure, why not? Excuse me holding the microphone, but the sound out here can be a little distracting. So I thought I'd try this. If it's bad, I won't use it again, but we will see how it goes. I have a very exciting video that I am starting today for you. I am about to try, or I have started trying, some new to me yarn that was generously gifted to me by Erika of Yarniecopia to try out and to tell you all what I think of it. I have never tried Biches and Bûches yarn before, so when Erika reached out to me, I was super excited to see what it was like and to try it out. So I will be knitting a project during this vlog, and I want to basically make this a project vlog for you, and I'm hoping to knit the Stockholm Slipover V-Neck. That is the plan at the moment, although I'm tossing up between the crew neck as well, or round neck. Decisions are the worst when there are multiple options, but I think I've settled on the V-neck because I haven't actually knit one of those before in terms of any sweaters, so I thought let's give it a go. And I'll be trying out some amazing yarns that Erika has sent me from Yarniecopia, and I'm super excited about this. Erika sent me two bases. She sent me the Petite lambswool in the colorway red brown, and it is so pretty. It is 100% lambswool, and there are 248 meters or 270 yards per 50 grams. So I am very excited to try this. It's a non-superwash yarn, and I really love this color, and I really enjoy the feel of it. It is a little more toothy than merino yarn, but I really like the feel of it. And I'm quite a sensitive person, and that is not prickly on my neck at all. So that is very exciting. I decided to knit the slipover because I was a little concerned that I might be a bit sensitive to this yarn. But when I received it, I was so pleasantly surprised because it is actually very next to skin soft and smooth. Like, that feels really nice on my neck. Not a single prickle factor. She also sent me the silk mohair base, and this is also in the colorway red brown, and it's 25 grams, 210 meters or 230 yards, and it is so nice. I'm hoping this daylight is actually giving it justice. It's such a beautiful day out here. I really wanted to record a little bit outside today before we get into another miserable rainy week. We've got blue skies with some fluffy clouds. The sun is shining on occasion. It's popping in and out of the clouds, and I just figured it was that colour there looks accurate on the screen to me. Absolutely stunning. I love these yarns. And I've started my swatch, and I'm super excited because I think I might be on gauge. I did size down my needles. There's the swatch so far. I did size my needle down, so the pattern calls for a 4.5 millimeter or a US 7. I'm swatching on a 4 millimeter or US 6, I believe. I think I may be on gauge. I don't know how this yarn behaves when you wash it because I haven't used it before, so I thought it was important that I do a decent size gauge swatch to make the right decisions on maybe what size to knit, because I don't think I'll change needle sizes because I do like the fabric that I'm getting here at the moment. So I've got another couple of rows to go. I will wash and block my swatch, and I'm hoping to be able to cast on tonight. It's not likely to be dry by tonight, but I think I'll have enough information to make that decision. If not, I'll be casting on tomorrow. Now, one thing I'm planning to do with this project is to record how long it takes me to knit. I discovered the Toggle Track app, which is a free app on the App Store this week, and I've been playing around with it on timing myself knitting on a different project. And I thought, because I was halfway through that project, it wasn't very valid. I'm really excited to track the progress of this project from start to finish and share that with you. Given that it's not a full sweater, it's a vest, I anticipate that it should take me 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks to complete, but I'm interested to know how many hours of knitting that will actually take. So my aim is to track my progress, or track my knitting time in real time, and let you know how I go with that as well. So join me as I knit the Stockholm Slipover in amazing new to me yarn, and I'm super excited to share this with you. Let's get into it.
Drew my heart a little wall, but I felt things were better now. I belong in your arms. Got a paper cup full of wine. I played a Charles Bridge on the side, with your hand resting under mine. Hope I'm not so out of line. Your point of view, different taste, walking slow, bumpy pace. Cause you know, we can fall in love, this moment's all it takes. Autumn leaves falling down, suddenly it's over now. But you know, we'll fall in slowly. You take my breath away between the sheets.
So I decided to knit a second swatch. I feel like that gauge is just way too off in the stitch count, even though the row count's pretty good. And I thought I would try metal needles with this yarn, and I really like them. I really like the way it feels. So let's see how this one goes. I'm interested to see how my gauge shifts with these needles. I did size down, so I'll see what this tells me, and we shall make a decision on which needles we will use very soon. I did think about just casting on. I thought I'll just size my needles down and I'll just start the back and let that be my big swatch. And then I got worried about having to rip back again, and not again, but having to rip back. It's not my favorite thing, and when I'm working with mohair, I don't find ripping back very enjoyable. I'm aiming for 19 stitches over 10 centimeters, and ideally 28 rows or rounds. So I didn't get very far. I think I've done 9 rows or rounds, and I am so much happier with the fabric actually, and I think I have gauge. So I'm getting about 19.5 stitches in 10 centimeters at the moment, and I have noticed with my gauge swatch that is drying. It's not fully dry yet, but it's getting there. It's pretty airy, so it is on its way to drying. But I've noticed compared to this gauge swatch, the fabric just looks so much nicer, and I think that grew a little bit in width. So yeah, it means my row gauge will be out though, because my row gauge was pretty much spot on there, and now it's short by a row, maybe 2 rows per 10 centimeters. Gauge is hard. I'm still going to cast on, and it's going to be brilliant, and I'm very excited about this project.
My body's weak when you're around, and I don't know how you do. Can you play the tunes we used to? Just stop the time and listen, babe. Live high, fly to the moon. Take a second, rewrite the stars. Be my sweetheart.
We have some progress. I cast on using my chow goose today, using the 3.75mm US 5 needles, and I think I'm perfectly on gauge with the stitch gauge. The row gauge is pretty close too. So there it is. There's my progress for today. I started on the back, and I'm about to start shaping for the armholes, but it is now so late that my watch has gone flat. It's after 10, I think it's about 10:30 p.m. and I'm going to have a shower and go to bed because tomorrow is a work day. And I'm a bit sad about it because I really want to keep going with this. I'm really enjoying it, but felt like it flew by. It was 3 hours of knitting, so I did 3 hours on it tonight after I finished dinner. It is now 10:30 p.m, so I am really impressed by this yarn, really like how it's knitting up, and I'm super excited to keep working on this. I'm talking really quietly because everyone's gone to bed, but hopefully the microphone's working. Hopefully it's not distracting. Hopefully it's good quality audio. I'm rambling. I'm gonna go have a shower, I'm gonna go to bed, and I look forward to working on this again tomorrow after work and checking in with you on the progress I make then.
Glowing, babe. Can you feel my love from afar? Now I'm back, see the New York signs. Body numb, just passing time. But I keep my head up high. All my friends tell me I'll be fine. It's too late to stumble now. Tune into the little sounds. But you know, we'll fall in slowly. You take my breath away between the sheets. My body body's weak when you're around, and I don't know how you do. Can you play the tunes we used to? So stop the time and listen, babe. Live high, fly to the moon. Take a second, rewrite the start.
I finished the back panel. So exciting. This was actually such a quick piece of knitting in my mind, and it just really flew off these needles. I'm loving the way these stitches look. It's looking amazing, and the colour, I'm loving this colour so much. You'll notice I've got a few little pins here, and I haven't really talked about what these are for. It's just a way that I like to keep track of my knitting. So we cast on here at the top of the neck. This is the back panel, just in case I haven't mentioned that. And then we had to knit a certain number of rows for the back. And once we were finished with that, we then needed to do a bunch of increases for a certain number of rows. And so what this does is it actually counts every 10th row. So I don't have to keep counting the rows or using my measuring tape. And I can use the gauge to determine how many rows I need to do. This is the back panel complete, which is super exciting. So the next step now is to pick up the left stitches. I think this is this side. I guess it depends on whether the left facing me or left facing the back. I need to read the pattern, but I will be picking up stitches for the left front, and that will bring it over to the front, and then we'll create a beautiful V-neck and eventually join in the round. And I feel like this is going so super fast. I've had a look at my app as well, and I have spent just over 5.5 hours, I think, on this project so far. That doesn't include swatching time. I didn't time that. I've just timed from when I started casting on, when I opened the pattern actually. I had read it beforehand, I had done some markup on it beforehand just to make sure I was knitting the correct size at each section. I like to circle my size and make some annotations as required, just to give me some extra information as I'm working through the pattern. It's really going well and it's flying by. So this is the end of day 2. I may pick up the sleeve stitches before I go to bed. We'll see how I go once I read that section. It is now almost 10 p.m. I think, so should really go to bed, but I'm struggling to stop working on this because it is super fun. That is the Stockholm V-neck progress for day 2. I decided to pick up the stitches tonight after all.
Be my sweetheart, you're ever glowing, babe. Can you feel my love from afar? Live high, fly to the moon. Take a second, rewrite the stars. Be my sweetheart, you're ever glowing, babe. Can you feel my love from afar?
I wanted to pop on and show you my progress. So we have a left front finished. And I'm super excited to start the right front tonight after dinner. So I worked from home today and it was a really busy day, but a productive one, which is nice. And then after work I got to go pick up my new glasses. So you're the first ones to see them, apart from my family, obviously. You may not be the first ones. The first ones I'm showing them to. Makes no sense. I keep forgetting this isn't live. Did just want to mention, so when we picked up the stitches for the left back, left shoulder, it tells you how many stitches to pick up, but you're not picking up from the edge. So you pick it up as it faces you, and you don't pick it up from the edge. You need to pick it up from the actual stitch count that it suggests, because she recommends that we pick up with the short end of the yarn so that we can knit on the right side with the main end of the yarn, with the working end of the yarn. Because she tells us to pick up from inside, it would have been really handy if she'd mentioned at the start of the pattern to put a stitch marker there. I started where I thought that my stitch count might be, and I just picked up all of the stitches until I reached the edge. And then I counted them, and I had a couple spare, couple extra, so I just dropped those first 2 off. So I then ended up with the correct number of stitches. So I guess that's a tip if you need to do that as well. Or in future, I would probably stick a light bulb stitch marker like I have along my little decreases and increases there, or increases, just to make it a little easier, maybe. Luckily on the right front, we're starting to pick up from the edge, so I'll just count the number as I go in, so that's not a problem. It's just that left front. I mean, you can count them across, and of course that's the smart way to do it. I just eyeballed it, to be honest, and then I ended up with a couple of extra stitches, and that's fine. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Did I mention there were some short rows? I'm very tired. It's been a really long day. After we picked up the stitches, there were a few short rows, and what that does is then it slopes that shoulder down. So if I show you the back, you can see that there's a slope there. Hopefully you can see that. And it will just help with the fit on the shoulder for it to sit nicely and not flare up. So I'm very excited about that. And at the moment it looks really tiny, but that's because it's stockinette and it's rolling in. And we still have some ribbing that will come on either side of this panel. So I think it'll be fine. I've measured it across and I think it'll turn out great. Want to get the right front done tonight. Maybe join it in the round. We'll see. It's getting on. It's almost 7 p.m. I've just put dinner in the oven. That's the kind of day it's been. So we've still got to eat, got to clean up from dinner, and then I'll start knitting. So I may not finish that right front tonight because it took me a couple of hours to get through the left front. At least I think 2.5-ish hours. So I think it'll take a similar amount of time to get through this side. So I think at the moment I'm up to around 8 hours of knitting time on this, which is brilliant. It's day 4 today. I haven't knit on this at all today. I'm looking forward to making some progress, and I imagine that I will be well through the body of this by the weekend, because today is Wednesday. The ambitious side of me thinks I'll finish the right front today, but maybe the more realistic side of me thinks that it will be tomorrow. So I might not be joining in the round till then. We'll see. We just keep knitting on it and loving the process. And I look forward to checking in with you again soon. I've just finished the right front and I'm ready to join that in the round. So I'm pretty excited to do this next step. It's joined in the round. And excuse the pajamas, but I'm about to head to bed. I think it's going to fit. I'm very excited about this and can't wait to work on it after work again tomorrow. This part has me so excited, but I'm going to pop it back onto the needles so I'm ready to go tomorrow. And I thought I'd quickly show you how I do that, even though this may not work as well as I was hoping. These are barber cords, also known as try-it-on tubing, and they have been a game changer. We're just going to maneuver it a little bit differently. Have to be a little bit careful that you don't pop the needle or the cord off the needle. That is a risk. I do find this method quicker than trying to transfer onto a longer needle, usually. It's making a liar out of me at the moment though. I think it might have something to do with the angle at which I'm trying to do this while I record. Okay, that's working much better now. There we are. Pop that off. I just like to wrap it around to store it in the little notions pouch. And we are now ready to keep knitting. Back on the needles, ready for tomorrow. We're a little bunched up on the needles, but we're all joined in the round now, and we cast on some additional stitches under the armholes on both sides, and there's an extra stitch cast on between the V-neck there as well. She says to mark it during the ribbing, but I thought I'd just mark it now so that I'm very well aware of where that is. in preparation for that step later. She's coming along beautifully, and the yarn is amazing. This is Biche and Bûches, I think is how we say it. Petite lambswool held with their silk mohair base in the colorway red brown. I'll probably repeat that a number of times throughout this video, but I think it's well worth the mention because it is really pretty.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head? Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter's snow? Tell me and be honest, tell me, should I've known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, to let go.
I figured this was a good time to check in with you. I've just finished my first ball of the mohair, just at the end of that. But I still have quite a bit left of the La Petite lambswool, the fingering weight base. Well, a bit. There's a little bit left here, which makes sense. I think this one has a higher yardage than the mohair does. So this one has 248 meters, and the mohair has 210 meters. So that makes sense. Of course, I'm going to run out of the mohair before I run out of the fingering weight. So I have some more to start, but I'm actually wondering whether I start the neckband first before I continue on with the body, because I want to try it on and see how it actually sits, and that will help me determine whether I follow the pattern for the length or whether I lengthen it a little bit. Yeah, so that's what I'm considering at the moment. And this is how she's looking now. She looks amazing. I think she'll fit. I hope she'll fit. It seemed to be okay when I tried it on the other night, so once I maybe put on the neckband, I might do another try on. I've done maybe 1.5 inches of the body so far. The lighting here is a little dark today. We've got another gloomy day. So yeah, I think I might start on the neckband. It's Saturday today, so I've got a few errands to run. I was going to walk into town, but the weather's been a bit ordinary today. It's very misty out there, so I might drive in, run my errands, put out on another load of washing, and then I might start the neckband. Or should I continue with the body? I do find knitting body round and around can get a little monotonous for me, which is interesting because I do love in the round knitting, but I really enjoy a bit of complexity, I guess, as well. Keeps me more engaged. So might try picking up for the neckband, maybe. I'm not sure how much of that footage has been in focus. My camera seems to be playing up a little bit this morning, but we'll see how we go in editing. I apologize if the focus isn't great though. Before I go and run some errands, I did just want to talk to you about the time that it's taken me to get to this point. So I'm about 1.5 inches into the body now, and so far I have spent almost 14 hours on this project, which is a decent amount of time, and that is almost a week's worth of knitting. So today is Saturday morning, well, Saturday midday, and I've spent about an hour or so today, maybe 1.5 hours today, this morning before I got dressed and sort of just now getting to the end of that ball. And it doesn't feel like I've spent 13 hours on this because it's been little bits here and there. So and my biggest day was on Sunday, which was just under 4 hours of knitting. Then throughout the week, it's progressively gotten less and less of knitting time, just as I've gotten home from work and been quite tired. But it's really interesting to see sort of the daily progress there. You can see the chart at the bottom of that, hopefully it's focused on it. And yeah, you can sort of see how the knitting time has shifted from day to day. Really interesting to see how long this thing takes. So we're about, maybe row-wise, we're almost halfway through, but then there's some finishing touches, the collar, the ribbing on the armholes to go. So there's still quite a bit of knitting left to do. I'm really interested to see how long this takes. I'm really enjoying the project. I don't really feel like knitting on anything else. I do need to finish a pair of socks for my husband. Our anniversary is coming up. But this is my focus knit at the moment. I'm really enjoying this project. Really loving the yarn. It's great. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned, but Biches and Bûches yarn will be available for pre-order in mid-July through the Yarniecopia website. I'll make sure to link to the website below as well as to the socials for Yarniecopia. Erika from Yarniecopia, I think I did mention this before, gifted me this yarn to try out and I am loving it. It is a really nice non-superwash base. The petite lamb's wool in particular is great for colour work. From my swatch, I've noticed that it does definitely bloom really nicely. So I think knitting this with contrasting colours would be absolutely wonderful. I don't do a lot of colour work myself. I am working on a different colour work project at the moment, but that was started last year sometime. I do think that this yarn would be great for any kind of project. Really enjoying it. I really enjoy the feel of it. Really enjoy it on the needles. And combining this and the mohair has been just wonderful. So this is a silk mohair base. And yeah, they're wonderful. Absolutely great. So just a little mention there halfway through this video. I'm assuming halfway through. I feel like I've taken quite a bit of footage and I am interested to see how this vlog comes together. I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. Now, one of the errands that I need to run today is actually to go back to the optometrist. This is the second pair of glasses that I picked up the other day. You would have seen my lighter pair during the week. That lighter pair, I'm feeling like I don't see very well in that, and I ended up with a headache after wearing those glasses all day. So I need to go back to the optometrist today, I think, get them refitted to my face and maybe checked to make sure that focal point's in the right spot. Okay, so I'll check in with you guys again soon. Let you know how I go with that collar, hopefully, later today.
Time is a healer, just you wait and see. The problem is for me, I need an eternity. So tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest, tell me, should I known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, letting go. Letting go.
Thought it was time to check in. It is Sunday afternoon, almost evening actually. It's been a busy weekend with not as much knitting time as I would have liked, but I have made some progress. I picked up for the collar last night and have done most of that. I'm actually on the double knitting before the tubular or Italian bind off. I can't remember what she calls it in this pattern, but I'm following PetiteKnit's video tutorials to see how she does the techniques that she includes in this pattern, and I am finding them very useful, even though that I think they're in Danish. But if you click on the YouTube button or the the YouTube logo on the video, it takes you to the YouTube app and there's captions in English, which makes it easier to follow the techniques, which is nice. And I should be able to bind this off, well, I will be binding this off tonight, and then I'll continue on with the body. Now, one thing I did want to say about the pickup for this neckband, she says in the pattern to pick up from the back with it facing you, so from along here, but she doesn't really specify where in the back, and she gives you a stitch count, but she doesn't really say how many stitches there should be in each section. She just gives you an overall stitch count and says you should pick up 1 stitch for every row or stitch that you're picking up for. So on the back here it's 1 stitch per stitch, and along the front here as the V goes down it's 1 stitch per row. I ended up with 2 extra stitches, and I think I know what I did wrong, but I just have made do with that. That's fine. I couldn't figure out what stitches to drop, even though I did watch one of her tutorials, but it was a crew neck pickup, it wasn't a V-neck pickup. And I do think that I picked up 2 extra ones down the bottom of the V-neck here, which might be hard to see while it's still on the needles. Along the bottom there, just at the V, I feel like maybe I've got an extra couple, one either side there, that I shouldn't have picked up. But I've just made some adjustments and did a little bit of duplicate stitching to try to tidy that up, because I feel like it opened up the stitches there, the extra ones that I picked up. But I think it looks quite neat and quite nice, so I think I've been able to get away with it. I really didn't want to redo the pickup. I really didn't feel like spending all that time. It actually took me a long time to pick up these stitches. And also because I picked them up in the wrong spot, well, I started the pickup in the wrong spot, it meant that I had to adjust my repeat. So she says to knit 1, purl 1 until you get to the V-neck, and then you need to decrease for the V. And she says the one before should be a purl stitch, and I was ending up with a knit stitch because I actually ended up picking up along the top of the V there. So even though it was facing me, so I had it this way, and I started picking up here instead of along here. So I did have to make a couple of adjustments there. I had to tink back a little bit, but I ended up adjusting it to be a purl 1, knit 1 repeat rather than a knit 1, purl 1 repeat, because you had an uneven number of stitches here, and there was an uneven number of stitches here as well. So I made sure there were equal number of stitches along each side, with the extra stitch along the bottom there that got cast on when we were joining in the round. And there was an uneven number of stitches here. All up it was an even number of stitches, but because I started where there was an even number of stitches, I needed to end on an odd stitch to be able to do the decrease. This probably makes little sense if you've done the pattern. I might try to put some notes on my Ravelry page just to try to explain it for myself for future as well. But if you are knitting this pattern, don't make my mistake and pick up here, pick up on this side. Start your pick up here, have your uneven number of stitches here, and then you'll have an uneven number of stitches around the front, and then that will work with the sequence of knit 1, purl 1 for you. I made it work and it's all good. So now I'm doing the double knit rounds before I actually do the cast off, and then I'll go back to the body, I think, and knit on that for a while, but I will try it on, I think, once it's all bound off. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Having said that, I've been wanting to talk to you so much, but there's usually people around, and then by the time I do get to record a speaking segment, I've forgotten what I wanted to say. But I am loving this. It is a good fun project, and I'm really happy to have the collar almost finished.
Tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should have known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow.
I finished the neckband and I am about 10 centimeters into the body, and I thought I would do a quick try on, see how it fits. I feel like my tension has loosened up a little bit in the circular knitting. I'm hoping it blocks out okay. But let's try it on. I think it's going to work. Okay, so there's a bit of positive ease, quite a bit of positive ease, but I know that the ribbing at the bottom will cinch things in a little bit. But I'm happy with the armholes. They will have some ribbing around them eventually as well. And it doesn't gape at the back. So I think that is working. This will be done in no time. We're about a week in now, so today is day 8. I started on the Sunday, today is Sunday, and I feel like it's really flying off the needles, but it is my focus project. But I'm loving it. So exciting. I'm so close to being able to wear it, she says, with a super crop top on. I'm gonna go to bed because again, it's super late and I have work tomorrow. I need a shower and I'm not getting a lot of sleep at the moment because all I want to do is knit. Priorities.
Quiet and slow. I try my best to move on, to let go. Starlit sky, our love's secret line.
It's been a little while since I've checked in with you. I am still working on the body of my slipover. It's been taking me a little while actually. I have found that I stall on stockinette in the round and I got distracted by a couple of other projects. So I didn't knit on this for a few days, but I am freshly invigorated and inspired to work on this again. I think I have around 9 rounds left to go of the body and then I'll be starting the ribbing. And I wonder whether I might go in and do the ribbing for the armholes first, just to break up the large circumference knitting for a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. I am almost out of my second ball of the silk mohair. Maybe when I get to the end of that, I might pick up for the armholes. We'll see how we go. Yeah, so I've got this much left of the second ball of the mohair. I am very excited to get this finished and to be able to wear it. It is so cold here at the moment. It is probably one of the chilliest days we've had this winter. I am wearing many layers. I'm just on my lunch break at the moment. I've taken solace in an empty teaching room. The students are on a break at the moment. There aren't any students around at the moment, which means that on these cold, rainy days when I can't get out for a walk, I tend to find a quiet spot so I can sit and knit. If my car's here, I often sit in the car. If you've watched any of my previous vlogs, you've seen me knitting in the car. But I did decide to catch the bus in this morning, and it was a lovely bus ride. I had the seat pretty much to myself for the whole ride in, apart from a few stops. And I made a decent amount of progress on this as well. I think I got in about 4 or 5 rounds, which is not bad when the rounds are quite long. So I'm just going to keep working on this, decide what to do when I get to the end of this one, whether I just continue on with the hem or whether I pick up the armholes. But I'm hoping to get this finished by the weekend, get it blocked over the weekend and wear it finally. Well, finally. It's actually not been on the needles for that long. I have made quite steady progress on it, even though I put it down for about 3 or 4 days. But it is nice to be working on that again. It's a very joyful project, and this color, I'm obsessed with this color right now. Absolutely love it. Now, the pre-sale for Biches and Bûches is actually live now in real time for me. By the time you see this, it will definitely be live on the Yarniecopia website. So if you're interested in trying out some of this yarn, or if you've tried it before and you're keen to get some more into your stash or for a specific project, there are pre-orders available at the moment. Yarniecopia recommends that if you are interested in ordering some of this amazing yarn, that you get your orders in earlier in the month rather than waiting to the end of the month. So the pre-orders are open now and they will go through until the end of July 2025. I will link the Yarniecopia website down below for you as well. I think I will be indulging in some more of this myself because this yarn is just wonderful. I want to try some of their other colors. I've been watching AEST from We Are Wool People and also Tash from Mostly Knitting, and they are both using different bases of the Biches and Bûches yarn. And I'm very intrigued by those. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Tasha's, I think she's knitting, I don't know if it's the Oslo hat, I can't remember now which hat it was, but she's knitting a hat that she will be wearing at Bendigo, and I'm really excited to see that when we're there in just over a week now, so that'll be really fun too. If you're heading to Bendigo, because I'm expecting this video to go up before I go, so if you're in Australia, the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show is on the weekend of the, I think it's the 18th, I think Friday's the 18th, 19th and 20th of July. I'm planning to be there all 3 days this year. Last year I just did 2 days and it was amazing. But if you're there and you happen to see me, please come and say hello. I love having a chat with you all. I would love to meet you. It is so fun to meet people out in the real world that watch the channel. It's a little surreal too, to be honest, and I might get a bit shy. But I do look forward to meeting some people in real life. It's going to be a great weekend, as always. I may wear this on one of the days too. I'm not sure which day yet. I have plans for the Friday about what I will wear, and I haven't really planned the rest out yet. I really need to start packing this weekend. That would be a smart thing to do to get prepared for next week, because I'll be working all the way up to leaving for the Sheep and Wool Show. In the meantime, I'm going to keep knitting this, and I might check in with you. Well, I'll see how I go. The evenings are hard. It's really tricky to check in with you guys in the evenings because the whole family's there. The lights are usually pretty low, like we all cozy up in the evening, and it gets a bit loud. But definitely once the body's finished, I'll do a try on for you. Or maybe once the sleeve ribbing is on. I might get back to my lunch break before I have to head back to work. We'll see how much progress I make. Now, there's still a bus ride home. Best part of catching the bus to work, knitting time.
Like waves we soar so high beneath the moonlight. The soft touch your hand in mine gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do.
I'm knitting the first armhole. I finished the body the other night and was really worried that it was too short, but I think it'll be okay. It will stretch out a little bit in blocking, so I think it'll be okay. I don't really feel like undoing the bottom ribbing and the hem and the Italian bind off, so I think I'm just going to leave it. But in the meantime, I have started the left armband, and I think I'm about 6 rows or rounds into it now. So with the armhole, I have adjusted the pattern a little bit, or not the pattern, but the pickup rates from the pattern a little bit. I've looked at a lot of Ravelry project pages, and in quite a few of them, they suggested a different pickup rate to what is in the pattern. So instead of picking up every stitch, I have picked up every 2 out of 3 stitches along the armhole, just so that it doesn't flare out too much. And I think it looks okay. Yep, where am I? Here I am. Yeah, I think that looks all right. It doesn't look too bunched up. Obviously the needle's bringing things in there, but I think that looks good. And I've also done a couple of double decreases down in the transition from the stitches that were cast on for the armhole and where the actual increases start. A couple of the project pages mentioned that they had decreased a few of the stitches down here using a double decrease, which is actually a Brooklyn Tweed tutorial, which was really straightforward and simple. So I might link that down below if you're interested. What it does is it allows you to decrease in 1x1 ribbing without losing the 1x1 rib. They go into each other there, and you've still got the 1x1 rib maintained in that decrease area. So it makes it look nice and neat. And so I've tried that. I've done 1 round of decreases just to bring in this little bit a little bit so it doesn't poke out. We'll see if that works. It's luckily not a lot of knitting for the armhole, so if I need to redo it, it won't be too problematic. But I am aiming to finish this today, and I'm super excited to get it done. Once I finish these armholes, I will try this on and we'll show you what it looks like before blocking. And then I am hoping to get it blocked today as well. It is, what is it? It's around lunchtime, I think, at the moment. I need to go do some grocery shopping today. There's some things I need to get done. I need to get to the post office. Fingers crossed I can get this finished, well, the knitting on this finished today.
Bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love.
Okay, so the first armhole is finished. This is not the best top to try on with, but it's what we've got for today. And I am happy with that fit. It might look a little fitted at the moment, but I am expecting it all to block out quite nicely. So I just have 1 armhole left that I'll get started now, and we should get this baby finished. Now that first armhole took me almost 4 hours to knit and bind off. So I totally underestimated the amount of time that would take, and also the day got busy, all the jobs that I had to do. It is now 8 p.m, so let's see if I can get this second one bound off tonight. It might be bound off in the morning, but I'll at least get a start, get most of the knitting done on it tonight, hopefully. So happy that it's almost done. It's so lovely. Even on this almost same coloured top, which I would not pair with it usually, but it's nice to see that it fits. And I do like the way the decreases have worked out down here as well. I shall check in with you tomorrow when it's finished, because it's going to be way too late by the time I finish it tonight. Almost done.
Beneath an endless night, the world spins around. You're there, ease my mind. Like stars that never die, you and I will shine during the darkest times. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter.
I was way too tired last night to try to tackle the tubular bind off, but I did the setup rounds, and now I am ready to get this off the needles today. I'm so excited. I'm actually so excited to do this that I haven't even got dressed yet. It is still very early. I've been up for about an hour maybe. I've sorted out the chickens, I've put on some laundry. What else have I done? I've set the fire up again because it died out overnight. I don't think I did a good job of setting it up before I went to bed, mainly because I was very tired. But yeah, I'm going to get this finished this morning. Now, I think I said yesterday that it took me around 4 hours to do the first armhole. I think the first time you do something is always going to take you a little bit longer, because the second armhole, the knitting part, took just over 2 hours last night. I guess the bind off will take me a good hour, but certainly shouldn't take me 2 unless I get very distracted. So we'll see. I usually measure about 3.5 times the length of the circumference, and I kind of lost track of what that measurement is at the moment. So let's try that again. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and just another half just in case. And I need some scissors. And I'm ready to bind off. Just realised you couldn't see anything, but as you can see here, it's wrapped around that armhole about 3.5 times. I do it quite loosely. I have found in the last couple of bind-offs, the other armhole and the bottom ribbing, I had a lot of extra yarn left. But better having too much than not enough. I've also been through occasions where I've run out and I've had to join an extra strand of yarn, which has been a little frustrating. So this just ensures I never run out of yarn for the bind-off. Okay, let's get this done.
Maybe this is the season of love. As the leaves change color, I dive into you when summer's day.
Oh my gosh, she's done. Look at her. So pretty. I'm gonna try her on now, and let's see how she looks before blocking. And then I'm going to have to give her a bath. I assume it's going to take a couple of days for her to dry, but it will be ready for me to wear to Bendigo next weekend. So here she is before blocking, and let me put her on. What do we think? The ends are all woven in. They just haven't been trimmed yet. I do like the fit around my arms. And the V-neck, my first ever V-neck. Oh, I'm so excited. It is so perfect. And it's going to relax a bit after blocking, so it will get a little bit more space in it. But even if it doesn't relax that much, I'm really happy with the size of it at the moment. Yeah, my goodness. The Stockholm Slipover V-Neck by PetiteKnit is off the needles. So exciting. That second armhole only took, in total, I think it was about just under 3 hours, including the bind off. The bind off was about 45-ish minutes. So yesterday's first armhole definitely had a lot of distractions in it, because I don't think it took me an extra hour to knit that in reality. But I was looking up the technique on how to decrease. I was checking some Ravelry notes as well. That does take time. Now I will pop up on the screen the amount of time it's taken me to knit, but I think we're at about close to 40 hours, thereabouts, which is probably longer than I expected for something without sleeves. I'm not sure, I think I had it in my mind that a pair of socks takes 20 hours, and then I've never really honestly thought about how long it takes to knit a jumper. People ask me quite often, how long did it take you to make that? And it's like, well, it took X amount of months because I've worked on other things in the meantime, but I've never thought about it in the hours of knitting time until now. And it's a really interesting thing to look at. So yeah, around 40 hours. I'll pop it on the screen with the exact breakdown. So we'll see how long it all took. And I'm going to block it now. It will dry in a few days. I think I'm repeating myself. And I will show you again once she is blocked. Thanks so much for watching this vlog. I am so excited that you've been here to share this with me. I will pop some footage in of the finished object because I would like to get this edited now. Finished blocked object. It's finished now. And I'm so excited to be able to wear this. And I hope that you're enjoying whatever you're knitting. And if you are in Bendigo over the weekend of I think it's the 18th, 19th and 20th of July 2025. Come and say hello if you see me. I might be drowning in yarn fumes and may be very oblivious to people walking past me, but if you recognise me, I would love to say hello to you, so please feel free to stop me and say hi. Stockholm Slipover V-Neck by PetiteKnit in amazing yarn by Biches and Bûches from Yarniecopia. Check out the pre-order now. There is a minimum 5 skein order. This took 5 skeins actually in the end. It took me 3 skeins of the mohair, or just under 3, and 2 skeins of the petite lamb's wool. Perfect project to try out the yarn, perfect way to experience it if you've never used Biches and Bûches before. I've loved it. I love that it's non-superwash. I love that I could split splice the ends together when I was joining a new ball, so the only ends I have are where I've started a new section, and that makes me really happy. Don't love weaving in ends, but I have learned to try to do it as I go these days. So enough rambling for me. Thanks so much for watching again, and I will chat with you again very soon. Happy knitting!